Hello and good evening. This is Vicki Simons with TruckDriversMoneySavingTips.com. Okay, tonight I'm talking about on Technology Tuesday that one piece of equipment that helped Mike and me to save a lot of time and money on the road in our trucks, and what opened up the world of meal preparation for us. In order to be able to set the stage for you, I have to go back in history and let you know that when we started in trucking in 1993, this particular piece of equipment was not available in the truck stops or very widely available on the internet. In fact, the internet wasn't as widely available then either as it is now. Everybody takes it for granted now, but this was quite some time back. And so when we started out in our truck, the only thing that we could use to do cooking in our truck was to use a 12-volt appliance. And the type of appliance that was available for sale in the truck stops was a little 12-volt, what they called a pot and pop. I don't even think that they are sold anymore under that name, but you can find similar things, similar products to those, primarily from Road Pro. I cannot give any sort of a review about the Road Pro brand per se, but I do know that when we were using the pot and pop, we went through 8 of those because they kept burning out. They were so cheaply made but so expensive to buy, and they were just trucker junk is what we describe on our site. And it was horrible being able to do that. Well, eventually there became available in the truck stops a little piece of equipment that would allow us to be able to invert the electricity from our AC powered, that is alternating current powered appliances to be able to run them from a DC outlet, that is a 12-volt or a cigarette lighter outlet. And I think this may be one of the versions that we got later on, but anyway, you can find these in most of the truck stops now. This is a Road Pro brand, okay, and basically it just it plugs right into your cigarette lighter. And this particular model says it is 175 watts. Well, as you can imagine, you can't do much with 175 watts. In fact, this particular, it's very stiff now. But anyway, it will, for example, if you're plugging this into the outlet inside your bunk, okay, if you have the kind of cabinet where there's an outlet inside the cabinet, you could do that, and hopefully you'll be able to just plug that right into your whatever your appliance is that you use. But bear in mind, okay, this can't handle anything more than 175 watts. If you have an appliance that's drawing more power, for example, if you have a crock pot that's pulling 200 watts, it won't handle it. Okay, you have to have something that's lower. So what do you do when you've got something that you want to use, for example, like an electric skillet or a higher powered, larger crock pot or something else like that? Well, this is what I was going to share with you tonight. This is an example of an inverter. This is what I call a battery powered inverter. Okay, these are the plug-in type inverters. Okay, this is a battery powered inverter. Okay, this is not the first inverter that we bought. This one's 1500 watts. This is from Power Drive, and we do have a link to this particular model on our website, TruckDriversMoneySavingTips.com, if you want to get it through Amazon.com. However, these are sold in some of the truck stops, at least to the last that I knew. Now, you will have to arrange, okay, I'm going to try to show you here. These are the outlets where you're going to be connecting the cables to connect this to your batteries. Okay, you're going to have to, if you're a company driver, you'll want to have permission to be able to do this unless your company already says, yes, it's okay for you to set that up. Depending upon which trucking company you are driving for, someone in the shop may set that up for you, may connect that directly to you so you don't short out the batteries. They may also install between the inverter and the batteries a fuse, and in a later video, a later broadcast, I will describe for you a problem that we had with the fuse. But anyway, this is the where you connect it. Now, this particular model of inverter has these nice little I'm going to call it a protector. It's probably not what it's called, like a little sheath that goes over these prods or whatever they whatever they call it. I'm not sure what the technical name is, but basically where it connects on this inverter, and you'll put the cables here and then run it down probably through the floorboard of your truck underneath the bunk, and then when you're hooking it up, okay, you can see the outlets on this end. All right, and I won't go into what you'll see on the display if there is a display on your model in this video, but anyway, this is where you have access to up to, and this particular model has 1500 watts that you can draw. Okay, you can put in your appliances, hook those up so that you can operate whatever it is that you're doing. Mike and I have actually taxed the living daylights out of this thing in our trucks. What we ended up doing was connecting a surge protector to this thing and then running the surge protector out from underneath the bunk or the cabinet. The last truck that Mike drove over the road, there was a cabinet where this inverter happened to be, and we ran the wire from the surge protector out, and allowed us to be able to have, I think, up to 6 different appliances running. Now, depending on your need, okay, and I'm just going to rattle off a number of things that you may or may not have in your truck that you can operate. But, for example, if you have a cell phone that you need to charge, a laptop computer, various types of cooking appliances, if you have been diagnosed with sleep apnea, perhaps your CPAP machine, your coffee pot, various kinds of electronic equipment that I haven't named, and obviously cooking things. We have used an electric skillet up to 1500 watts. I mean, like I said, but that's the only thing that we have plugged in at the time. Okay, you can run a crock pot at a lower wattage, and I've used a laptop computer and charged up the cell phone and all kinds of things. But anyway, we have gone right up to the limit. The first inverter that we bought at a truck stop, you can't even buy that brand in a truck stop anymore that I know of. But anyway, it was a 1750 watt inverter. And then the trucking company that Mike was driving for at the time said, no, we're going to limit it to 1500 watts. And the companies want to be able to, some of them will limit the amount of power that you could draw from the batteries because obviously they want to keep the batteries working to keep the truck running. So this is an auxiliary function, okay? But anyway, the point is that we were able to, I'm going to plug this these little sheaths back in here and set this to the side. But anyway, the world of being able to save money on food that we could cook in our trucks just opened up to us when we had an inverter, a battery connected inverter in our trucks. There's nothing wrong if you're having success using for example, a 12 volt hot pot or something like that. But we have noticed that if you're using a hot pot that's connected, or even a microwave oven that is powered from a 12 volt outlet, the time it's going to take you to be able to warm your food up is going to be so much longer than if you had something like this that has a higher power on it. Okay, so anyway, that is the tip that I'm going to be sharing for tonight about using a battery-powered inverter. By the way, if you have the kind of inverter that does not have a sheath over the side, be careful because you can short things out there. So you want to protect it, keep whatever it is that's near it in the bunk away from the exposed ends. All right, yes, inverters are great if you're looking to save money, save your hard-earned money. Now, that being said, okay, we used this appliance primarily for cooking. Okay, we obviously kept some our electronic equipment charged up with it, but we used it primarily for cooking. And we plugged things in. In fact, if you look at the Thanksgiving dinner page on our website, you'll see that we used a number of different products there. We had a crock pot. We had a little kitchen kettle, which we also have on our website that we reviewed, and there was a toaster oven. The toaster oven didn't last very long, but anyway, we ended up taking that one back to the store. But the thing about it is, depending upon what it is that you're using and time, if you have an elaborate meal like the Thanksgiving dinner, you want to time which ones For example, start the crock pot early, okay, and let whatever it is that you're cooking cook, and then use the, say for example, the kitchen kettle to boil something, and then when you're right then towards the end of your meal preparation, you can toast or bake your bread dressing. Mike makes it excellent. Oh man, that was such a tasty meal. That's why we took so many pictures. But anyway, all kinds of things that you can cook when you have a proper amount of wattage. Now, can you blow these things out? I mean, will they ruin? Yeah, we've purchased a number of these inverters over a period of time, and they, just like any other appliance, they can go bad over a period of time depending upon what kind of usage you see, which you give them, and what it is that you're doing with it. So you want to be careful with it. But we have had good success with this power drive model that I showed to you. And we do have that available, like I said, on our website. We have used these successfully. Now this particular model of the plug-in, this has a little light here. I don't know if you can see it very well. It's not lit up now, obviously, because it's not plugged in. But when this is working correctly, when it's plugged in and the power is available, this will light up, so you'll be able to see that. Okay, this particular one does not. Okay. Well, yes, it does. I'm sorry. This one has an amber light, I think, that lights up to let you know that it's working. Okay, and you can use these things in your cars. A lot of times nowadays, you got the situation with the USB. A lot of times, if you use this to charge up your cell phone, you've got something that plugs into your cigarette lighter and just has a USB outlet. You don't have to put a AC on there. But anyway, these things are these cigarette lighter or plug-in inverters are relatively inexpensive. You can run a low-powered crock pot to do some cooking. A crock pot. Let's put it this way. I know that there are various appliances out there to do cooking with. Some of them, some drivers really like. Some of them, and we'll be talking about that in later broadcasts. But we prefer to use an AC-powered appliance to do cooking in our trucks. The reason why is because you can always take an AC-powered appliance and use it somewhere else. If you buy a bunch of 12-volt appliances to cook in your truck, you can't use them in your house, okay, or in a hotel room or wherever it is that you're going on vacation. You can use a lot of your AC-powered equipment. So that's why having an inverter opened up the world of cooking for us, because we wanted to be able to use our AC-powered cooking appliances, things that we would normally use in our house. We were very much looking forward to that. And we'll be talking about various kinds of things that we used in later broadcasts. Please be careful when you buy an inverter. Don't shock yourself if you're putting it in by yourself. Okay? Be very careful how you plug that in. Make sure that the red goes to red and the black goes to black. Follow the instructions that are written there. Make sure that you have an appropriate cable kit, and just take care that you don't short out yourself or your batteries, okay? All right, save lots of money by using this tip, and please comment below if you found this valuable. Send us a question through TruckDriversMoneySavingTips.com, and we'll be glad to address those. We'd love to be able to have your feedback and questions. And until next time, my husband Mike and I wish you safe travels and lots of money-saving opportunities on the road. Thanks.